So, welcome again, another polarity today. And today we're going to be exploring action and doing on the one side, and then contemplation and being on the other side. It could be related to masculine and feminine energies, but we're really going to distill it down and take it away from the complexity of masculine and feminine energies, because that is that's a very large topic, so to speak. There's so much more that comes with that. So we're going to simply look at the action and doing side of things and at the being completing side of things, and how that can be experienced in an individual as a polarity. Yeah, where there's maybe a preference for one over the other. So I'm going to share this graphic with you again so that you have a visual. So here you can see again, on the one side, there's the action and the doing. And on the other side, there's the contemplation and the being. Yeah, and how this can be experienced in the body is as a push-pull energy. So a desire to be more actionable and doing, and an aversion in a certain sense to contemplation and being, or dislike of that way of being, or maybe an uncomfortability in that. Yeah. Or a aversion or particular dislike or uncomfortability in the action space and wanting to be more in the being space. And what is really available in the fifth person perspective as we start to explore first the polarity, and then we move in the apex point and we stand in fifth person perspective. What's really available is a certain quality of being in the doing. And a certain realization that this body simply has the capacity to move this hand and to do the dishes without me as a personality being invested in that in a particular way, and therefore having a preference whether I want to do a particular task or not. And it simply becomes a happening in reality. It becomes tasks, and there's no particular preference for particular tasks over the other. And that is simply happening, unfolding. So again, as we did the last polarity, which is with attachment and aversion, you can kind of see how it comes into this polarity. And so you can start to see how polarities sometimes layer on top of each other. And we really start to explore complex meaning making, not only of the mind, but also how the body remembers certain ways of being. If you've been in a really active job, for 10 years, that's going to probably be your default. And in a certain way, even though it's not comfortable, it is comfortable because it's simply the habituated pattern. And so really what we're looking for is a dynamic balance where we're not necessarily preferencing one over the other, but we can move in and out of spaces of action, doing, and contemplation and being. And we can just move in that and then really realize that we're always being. That we're beingness in the doingness. So let's explore this through an embodied practice again. So again, you can stand up in your room, wherever you are, find your mat, your scarf, your broomstick, whatever you've got to move up and down. And I want you to stand on the side of the action, the doing space. So how does it feel in the body to stand in this space of doing, of action? What happens to the heartbeat in particular? What happens to the breath? What is the state of the body like here in this space of action? Maybe there's certain memories or associations in mind that come through of how it feels to be in the space of action. What are the associations? What comes up here? And if you really feel the body, you might be able to feel some forward energetic pull, or push, but a forward motion, if you will. And think of all the tasks that you would like to do and that you enjoy doing, and being in that doing space, and how is that happening? And potentially what comes up is also some tasks or some actions you don't like and have a dislike with, But I want you to hold all of that together in this doing space, because essentially it is the same thing, really. So take note of the body, take note of the breath and the state of the system. And then slowly in your own time, start to move towards the other side. So start to move towards the side of contemplation and being. And I want you to notice as you move from from action doing to contemplation being, the state of the body. How is the body shifting in energetic? Maybe the heartbeat is changing rhythm. Maybe the breath is shifting. And the breath rhythm and the patterns that are here are shifting. So take note of the state. And then as you stand in this position of contemplation and being, notice how the energetic feels here in this space. What is happening to the overall state of the body? And what are some of the associations or memories that come up here as you stand in this space of beingness, not doing, contemplation? And all the associations that come to mind in this space, maybe you really enjoy this space, maybe you don't. And just notice that. Notice either the again the preference for this space, or actually the discomfort or the dislike. And what is the temperature of the body in this space? Maybe you feel the push or the pull towards action again. You need to get moving again. Maybe you feel that, or you really feel comfortable in that space and you don't want to actually go towards action again. You just want to be in contemplation. So you can notice the preferences coming in. So as you notice and take note of that, I want you to start moving to the other side again and really observe, again, how does it feel in the body to move from one side to the other? So you're going to move from contemplation and being towards action and doing. And notice what happens to the body, the state of the body, the heartbeat, and the breath. So again, now you're standing in the space of action and doing. What does this feel like in the body? Again, what are the memories and associations that come up here? Do you like this space? Do you not like this space? What's here? And maybe you can already start to notice the merging of these two energetics. That really what's available is a beingness in the doingness. And a certain rest and relaxation, a relaxation in the system in both spaces, and a comfortability, being comfortable in the most highest of action and the deepest and deepest places of being in contemplation. And we can widen that spiral further and further. We can train, if you will, or remember ourselves back into these more dynamic, flexible spaces. So I want you to walk up and down from action doing to contemplation being, and just start to feel how the energy is moving and shifting as you walk up and down. Notice the state of the body, notice any memories or associations that come up, and notice the breath. Again, notice how the breath is behaving, or any other energetics that might be present here. As you really start to merge these energies. And as you've done that for a little bit, I want you to stand back in the apex again. So we're going to be standing back in the fifth person perspective again, and you're going to watch and observe both the place of contemplation and being and action and doing. And what is really available as you stand back into this apex point? What is available here energetically? And from the perspective that's available here, as you can hold again these complex dynamic paradoxes as one happening, really. As you maybe can observe your own preferences and your own biases towards particular either one side or another or both in different contexts or ways. And really, what's the effortlessness and the ease that is available here, the relaxation that's available here from this perspective? The effortless ease. That becomes quite obvious and available. Again, you can practice this one in your own time if you like more exploration with this. Walking up and down is very powerful because the body actually gets to embody it and feel the differences. So I'd highly recommend doing that. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Thank you.